Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Counselor's Couch 101. I'm still Jim Stump after all these years, still. Um, by the way, I put the 101 in Counselor's Couch because there were several podcasts out there with the title Counselor's Couch in them. So I just put that on there to distinguish it from the others. So if you're looking for it, you're looking for Counselor's Couch 101. For a long while now, men have been describing, let me say males, anywhere from 15 on up, but males have been describing women as paint and drama. Paint and drama. Well, the paint is kind of obvious, but what happens is if you go down the beach, you go to a pool, or if you're involved in any kind of activity, and the paint washes off, oftentimes the guys can't even recognize who the heck they're with because women who are adept at makeup can look quite attractive, and if they know how to do it to bring out their best, present themselves to best advantage. Let me put it that way. You're gonna look quite good, right? I remember I was in Hawaii once for a convention, a study week, right? And there was a group of people. Apparently, there were some sort of reporters, and there were photographers, and there was a camera crew, and all this. They were set up right, kind of like in front of a major hotel off the beach at Waikiki, right? And this tiny little female came down, and she was all decked out in some gorgeous sort of a gown and all that, and she had jewelry on, etc., etc. And I could see that she was just painted to the max, right? And I thought to myself, and they're all taking her picture, and I guess someone's trying to promote her career. I never did find out who she was. Don't remember seeing her in any movie or television program, but who knows? Maybe she's quite successful. Who knows? But I remember seeing photographs of Hollywood stars on the beach, often up in Malibu, with no makeup on. And most of the time, you couldn't recognize them. They simply did not look like what we know them to be. And this is the surprise that happens to men, right? It's like a guy gets married, he goes on his honeymoon, right? And they spend the first night and then enjoy themselves, etc., etc. He wakes up the next morning and he doesn't know who's in the bed. You know, it's like, where's my wife? Where'd she go? Doesn't recognize her. So there's the paint. I guess that means you sort of get to know somebody on a really sincere level to find out who they really are as far as what they really look like and whether that's the type of person you want to be with. But even more problematic is the drama part of it, right? I think to myself, why would women want to produce a lot of drama? What's going on that these men are saying, man, there's nothing but trouble with these women, right? They don't want to get involved with them anymore. And I thought to myself, well, the first thing that occurred to me is like, maybe the ladies are suffering some sort of low self-esteem or lack of confidence, right? Oftentimes people who don't feel comfortable in the world, they like make a lot of noise. They're trying to convince someone to some point of view or some thought or to agree with them or something of that sort. Maybe that was going on. But it seems that a lot of what the ladies are doing, not all of you, I'm sure everybody comes here doesn't do any of this stuff, just the ones that guys complain about. They're trying to get the man to change his opinion about something, right? Now, look at the usual scenario that goes on. A man and a woman, hopefully they're of age, they hook up, they have sex, right? The woman decides she wants to keep this man, right? So now she's trying to convince him that they have a relationship and they have a possibility for a future and that they're going to be happy together, etc., etc. Well, that is not what is on the man's mind. He's not thinking about marriage and children. He was thinking about a hookup. He was thinking about sex. That's all he was thinking about. And the woman is trying to convince him otherwise. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm not saying everybody does this, and I certainly hope people out there are actually meeting potential partners and are falling in love and having great relationships. I really hope there's a lot of people that find that. But a lot of guys are talking about the type of women that run around and they do the same sort of a drama game with everyone they meet, right? Well, check that. I'm not going to say they do it with everyone they meet. They pick someone out to do it with, and then they pursue that guy. And the guy is not happy at all because, she wants something that he didn't sign up for. That wasn't the reason he met her. That wasn't the reason he smooth talked her. It wasn't anything like that. He was there for other purposes, paint and drama. The woman at that point is trying to change the man. She's trying to change his attitude into something that meets her requirements and her goals and what she's looking for. And there's the drama. Trying to get him to be a different person. Maybe stop what you're doing if you don't like it. She doesn't like what he's doing. I'm thinking of career-wise. Some women want guys who are career-oriented and are going to make a good bit of money, so they'll try to change that. Maybe they're going to change where they want to live, right? She wants to move out of state, and he's building a career, or vice versa. Lots of things women can want to change, and that's the drama. If you find someone and you don't like who they are, why would you want to try to make a deeper relationship with them? Say, hey, nice to meet you, see you around. And I'm hoping you say that before you jump into bed, but that's not up to me to decide, right? I just think that is harmful for relationships, for important ones, the ones that you want to keep. Paint and drama, that's what the guys say. Also, some of the younger men, when I think younger, I'm thinking of 15-year-olds. I'm thinking of high school boys, right? They come in and they tell me that the women these days are scandalous. That's a word that is popular among the young men, right? The women are scandalous. And I'm sitting there thinking, scandalous, what a word to apply to a 15, 16, 17-year-old female. Scandalous. And apparently they're doing all sorts of stuff that the guys can't even keep up with. By the way, ladies, this is just a side note, but a lot of women are scaring the heck out of men. A lot of young men are not as confident in their virility and their lovemaking as women might think every man should be, because all men are predators and et cetera, et cetera. A lot of young men are really, really shy around that subject and concerned that they can't perform well enough. And it gets discussed often only in safe environments. I'm not sure that they necessarily say that to the woman unless they truly are in a very good and committed relationship, which is the place they should discuss it. Figure out how to make that work. But the boys say that the females are scandalous. They're doing all sorts of things. Where did these young girls pick this up? That this is a good way to go? You could say it's in the culture, it's in the movies. Well, it definitely is in the movies, and it is in the culture. I was talking to a friend the other day, and she said, all the girls want to be Kardashians. Kardashians. Every time I hear that name, I think of Star Trek, the Romulans and the Kardashians. Anyway, so she said the girls want to be Kardashians. They want to be instantly famous. They want to have money thrown at them. They want to have glamorous lives without having to work at it. And so if they can't get that in their life, they're taking out that kind of frustration on some guy that they happened to meet and he expressed even a little bit of interest in them. Maybe they're trying to get that hit, that emotional boost from the guy being really, really madly in love with her and pursuing her around. That's another part of the drama, by the way, is that the guys are saying that the women want attention. They always want more attention, and you have to do it correctly. Some women want to get 57 text messages every day. Other women think that one is too much, You got to figure out how to do that. And that also is a problem for the gentleman trying to figure out how to make a relationship with a lady of the current culture. And that can be any age, if they're bought into the culture. How do you give them the amount of attention that they want? You don't want to give too much. You don't want to give too little. Also, you don't want to appear too vulnerable. They say women don't like weak men. I say, okay, well, if you tell her to hit the road, does that prove you're not weak? Does that solve the problem? Just kidding, but there's a drop of truth in it, right? They used to say that women like bad boys, or girls like bad boys. There's a hint of truth in that. John Wayne picking up Maureen O'Hara and throwing her into the mud. That's supposed to be lovemaking, right? That's supposed to be preparing the woman for wanting to be close to this guy. It's like he rejects her and she feels, oh, this is great. So the guys are trying to figure all this out. Paint and drama. How the heck, the paint we can deal with, right? We understand it. It's just the way things are in the world, apparently. But the drama, I say we have to learn how to read the language of the drama. What is it all about? And then if the message that you have decoded fits your goals and desires with this other person, great. Communicate that and make that relationship work. But if it doesn't and you see it's going in the wrong direction, or rather going someplace you don't want to go, why don't you just hold your boundary right there? Doesn't that stop the drama? If the lady wants to raise a lot of fuss, then let her make a lot of fuss, but she doesn't have to do it with you. I know this sounds sexist, lady, and I don't mean it to. There's a reverse, there's an opposite side of that about how men behave badly, and basically they're out pursuing sex. Let's face it, that's what it's all about. Human beings are animals and driven by animal desires, and that's something that men should be taught to take control of. I thought once upon a time in the culture that's the way it was. Not so much anymore, I don't think. It seems to be go crazy because everyone else is, and you're not going to win the game anyway. So might as well join. Can't win. You can't beat them. Join them. Paint and drama. So, what is your drama about, if you have any? A lot of folks have broken relationships. Did they break up because they were not right from the beginning, or did someone harm the relationship with drama? Could be her, could have been him. And who broke up a good relationship if it was a good relationship, right? There are things to talk about that idea there. Hopefully we'll get into them in the future. In the meantime, I really want to know what you think, particularly ladies. I told you before, I'm a firm believer that women run the world, so they set the pace. The reason males behave badly is because females are allowing it, right? And if you're not allowing it and you're not part of the culture, you're probably left out. So all that's kind of a sad picture of what we're doing in our culture today, but it is what's going on. How do you make your own way, be your own person, particularly if you're female? It's got to be really, really hard. By the way, before I close, I've talked to several people, women more than men. They say they hope they don't have a daughter because they fear for a daughter. Guys say, I never want to have a daughter. I know what's out there. And women say something to the effect, they say things like, I don't know that I could teach her well enough to keep her safe and let her learn how to be happy. I don't know that I could do that. And I think the overwhelming push here is, once again, the culture. It's hard for parents to overcome the force of culture. So if we want to change a lot of these things, we're going to have to change the culture. And it can be done, but sometimes you have to have a revolution before anything of significance really changes. And I hope we don't break into that in this country, baby. I was thinking more like a moral revolution, in that we sort of go back to ways that were healthier for everybody. I'm thinking of it that way. Not a war, heaven forbid. It doesn't get us anything. Paint and drama. Where do we start? I guess we start by asking the ladies to talk to their daughters, asking fathers to talk to their daughters and their sons. I'm not leaving them out. Let's see if we can form healthier relationships, right, in the next generations, and that might be a way to bring some sort of civility back into the culture. What do y'all think? Paint and drama. If I'm wrong, tell me so, but please be polite when you do it. It's hard to take negative comments that are vicious comments. Just say what you think and express it in a polite way, and we can carry on the discussion. Otherwise, we'll have to stop that line of talk and go somewhere else. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Paint and drama. What do you think? Look forward to talking with you next time.